Here we are on the west extension of the O train, Stage 2 West LRT. Back in the distance is Tunney's Pasture Station. The track's coming all the way here to Westboro Station. We're going to be taking a look in this video at the extension going west from Westboro Station here, going west to Kitchissibee, Sherbourne, New Orchard, Lincoln Fields, and then branching off from there to Iris and Algonquin on line 1, Queensview, Pinecrest, Bayshore, and Moodie on line 3. So let's take a look. So we'll take a starting look here at the direction heading east towards Tunney's Pasture Station. You kind of see it in the very distance in the background. We already have some of the rails starting to be laid down coming from there on one of the tracks. Second track hasn't yet started. And they'll head all the way underneath here, pivot, and we'll find ourselves here at the station. And this station right here, again, very similar to Tunney's Pasture Station. We're gonna have 2 side platforms, and we're gonna have a concourse level on the top, entrances, bus loop off to the side for the local bus service. Right now the buses are just serving off the side there on Scott Street, but they're gonna move back again closer into the station perimeter here as things advance further. So Westboro is one of the last, if not the last station on the west to have been dismantled for conversion to LRT. So that would explain why the progress is a little farther behind. But a lot of the formwork is already done. We're seeing rebar and structural concrete and steel coming all the way up to street level at this point. So they're definitely making good progress, and it should start resembling most of the other stations in the west, probably in the next couple months or later on this year. So another angle looking at the future station coming out of the ground, the Minto Metropole in the background. And then looking the other way here, in this direction, we're heading towards Kitchissibee Station. Can't see it, but it's far off in the distance there. You can see the guideway underneath here, starting to get prepared. It's definitely shaping up around here. Again, slower progress because the transitway here was left open to the latest possible date that they could do before they had to finally close it. So the construction here has been a little slower going because they had a slower start on it. But you're making good progress now. You should see a lot of changes in the coming months. Well, here we are at Kitchissibee Station, formerly Dominion Station. And this station is also in a trench at the mouth of where it comes out to the Ottawa River Parkway. And in the distance, you can see how the tunnel and the track dive down to reach the Parkway Tunnel that will reach destinations further west, such as Sherbourne, New Orchard, Lincoln Fields, and beyond. Looking at the station right now, we're actually offered quite a unique glimpse at the station because of the pedestrian detours and cycling detours around here. We actually pass through part of the station, which is actually quite interesting. So you can see like the perimeter fencing around here, and we can look right into the station. This is one of the few on the west where you can actually get really, really close up. You can see some of the elevators. Again, this is a side platform station, so 2 elevators on eastbound, 2 elevators on the westbound side. You can see the stairwells going down farther back. Some of the weatherproofing going on in the distance over here. It's really interesting. Looking this way again, you can see the guideway that will lead towards the tunnel in the distance. Going further west. the traction power substation just west of the station. Great views of the river. It's going to be a fun station because you're going to be able to get off here and go to Westboro Beach, maybe about 10-minute walk away. Newly refurbished and rebuilt Westboro Beach with all sorts of great new amenities and pavilions, restaurants. Looking from the opposite side now, you can see another one of the entrances over there. So you'll have like the fare gates, the ticket vending machines. It's a general area, the elevators on the opposite side. It's again, Kitchissippi Station. We're now at Sherbourne Station. As you can see, this is the entrance building located below grade underneath the old Byron Linear Park, which is going to be restored in the coming years. But the station entrance is right here. And behind this will be the fare gates. And beyond that, the elevators. You can see one of the stairwells with the ramping going down farther back. This is New Orchard Station, one of the new stations in the Byron Linear Park. It's cut and cover, but the station itself is open to the above. Everything else is in a tunnel. This is one of the station entrances. So from that direction, Sherbourne Station, here's the entrance building and station house for New Orchard. The entrance is probably on this side. Continuing on that way to the Lincoln Field Station just off in the distance. And what's interesting here, over here you can see like a fenced area being erected around the trench. That's probably going to be the open air area that's going to be open to the above, where when you're on the platform level, you're going to be able to look up and see the sky, for example. But outside of this area and the station, it's going to be covered and fully inside the tunnel. So lots of activity happening around here. The tunnel is complete. They're working on covering it back up. It was a cut and cover, so that means that they dig out the trench to build the tunnel, build it, then cover it again. So the covering activity is still ongoing, but it's proceeding quite nicely. And then a lot of other sections outside of the station perimeter over here, it's covered up, and you're actually driving over it or seeing gravel right up to the street level. So a couple of features here, you can see the elevator shafts right there in glass. You can see the stairwells here going down to the platforms. Then the station entrance should probably be on that end with the fare gates and the big marquee with the red O-Train lolly stop. Here we are at Lincoln Field Station, which is a major and critical point on the O-Train network. It's going to be the transfer station and where the line splits for O-Train Line 1 to Algonquin and O-Train Line 3 to Moodie. So as you can see, there's two platforms over here, side platforms. This platform right here will be used going to Moodie at specific times of the day. Otherwise, it's going to be over here. This one will be for Algonquin, and depending on the time period as well, for Moodie. And then on the back side over here, we're going to see the platform that will be going downtown. Both lines will going to be rejoining here, and this is how people will make the connection going downtown. So all in all, one side platform, two center platform, so it makes for a 3-platform station. Again, the line splits here. It's going to be completely replacing the original Lincoln Fields Transitway station up the other side there. So you can see the local bus platform section and overpass was cut off and removed quite a while back now. And then this right here is actually a new overpass that they built over Carling Avenue to allow the trains to pass underneath. On the opposite side, we can see the pedestrian crossing that they built to replace the original one because the alignment needed to be changed to allow for the tracks to come through. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes up close, because back there is the key point where the trains can split for Moodie and Algonquin. So there's a lot of action, flyovers, underpasses for the tracks to make that all possible. But definitely a really interesting station, very important. And unfortunately we can't see it from this angle, but in the far distance, all the way in the back, would be the exit from the Parkway Tunnel that goes under Byron and Richmond Road, that allows the trains to come from Kitchissippi, which was previously Dominion, all the way to here. So here's the station again from the other angle. This is where the new bus platforms and loop will be back over here to serve this entire region. Hasn't been constructed yet, but this is where it'll be located. So now we've left Lincoln Field Station and we've moved over to the pedestrian overpass over the tracks. And as you can see, the multitude of track switches that lead up to here to allow the trains to switch back and forth between the rails depending on where they're going or where they came from. And they pass underneath this beautiful, wide, bright, stunning pedestrian overpass, and they make their way out over to here. And right now you're probably saying, wow, there's 4 tracks. Well, this is exactly what I mentioned earlier, where the line splits between O Train Line 1 and Line 3. So as you'll see, there's 2 tracks here. They go underneath to the side, and those tracks will go for O Train Line 1 to Algonquin, so they'll serve Iris and Algonquin Station. This track and that track will go on a flyover to cross over the tracks that go underneath, go that direction. Those are for O Train Line 3 going towards Moodie, so next stop after this would be Queensview, then Pinecrest, Bayshore, and Moodie. And what we're not going to show in the video, once the trains pass over, they will then dive down under Connaught Park into a short tunnel, takes a hard right, passes right alongside the OC Transpo garage, and then comes out at the Queensview station. So here is a very important and critical point where both sides of the O train in the west separate into their own directions. So again here, the track coming back, heading east from Line 1 from Algonquin, the track heading east from Moodie, the track going down there heading west towards Algonquin, and the one up here heading west towards Moodie. It's very exciting, it's very interesting to see. And here again is another angle, just looking at it. Rise up and dive down as the tracks separate between Line 1 and Line 3. So what we see here is the now decommissioned Queensway Station. From that direction is Lincoln Fields. Trains will pass down these tracks and pass underneath this overpass to arrive at Iris Station. 2 entrances, both on the same side of the overpass here on Iris Street. So we'll pass on the sidewalk and head down these new stairs to the entrance, fare gates, and the platforms. Once down the stairs, the entrance building, which includes the fare gates, vending machines for tickets, and the platforms below. So this station won't have an elevator. It'll have stairs, and there'll be a ramp to go all the way around to reach the lower level. Here's a look at the platforms, looking in the direction of Algonquin Station towards Baseline Road. So this is the westbound towards Algonquin, and that's the eastbound towards Blair Trim Road in the east. So what's particularly neat about the station is how it integrates into the natural landscape, which also includes the Pinecrest Creek right over here that was actually relocated off more to the side to allow for the construction of the train. So obviously moving any body of water is a massive undertaking, and I think it came off pretty nice. So next station is going to be Algonquin Station, formerly known as Baseline, is integrated underneath and to the side of Algonquin College ACCE building. And this installation was roughed in when that college campus building was built years ago. Tracks arrive from the north, pass down, and head underneath into the massive underground tunnel and station cavern, of which there's actually storage tracks for parking trains underneath. It's not just 2 tracks going through, there's at least 4 tracks going through underneath there. So it's very interesting. Entrances include a direct connection from the new bus loop building, which has a direct pedestrian overhead walkway into the college building, as well as a, I guess you would call, street level entrance just behind the ACCE building, between where the existing Baseline station is and the entrance doors to the college. Algonquin Station is the terminus for O Train Line 1. We're now going to double back to Lincoln Fields and continue on west along O Train Line 3. So here we are now at Queensview Station, which is just in front of Leon's. And as you can see, that this station is quite large. Despite there being a pedestrian overpass, the train platforms are just behind over here. You can see the other side right there. Side platforms. The reason this station has 3 levels is that it also provides a pedestrian connection to the other side on Pasture Road, just next to the Ottawa Citizen building. And also, equally as important, next to IKEA, just a few minute walk away. So this station provides pedestrian connection across the highway, so people no longer have to walk all the way farther out to Pinecrest to cross. And as you can see, elevators to go up all the way across. There'll be another level underneath with the pedestrian bridge that will service just the train station itself. But the one in white all the way at the top is the pedestrian crossing to the other side. That'll be free access for anyone, whether you have a ticket or not. Station's looking great. And even on the opposite side, on Pasture Road, where the other entrance is for the pedestrian crossing, is looking quite complete already. Again, another view here looking at the elevators to go up into the station and the pedestrian crossing. You can see the highway cars going just behind. It's going to be quite a spectacular station with a lot of levels and a lot of connectivity throughout. Entrances again on this side of the highway, and across on the other side. You would cross over, come down the elevators here, pass through the fare gates, and enter the station and go down to the platform of your choosing. So here's the opposite side of Queensview Station. Train platforms on that side, pedestrian bridge coming this way onto Pasture Road. And this right here is the entrance to 1, the station, and 2, the pedestrian crossing to get to the other side of the highway. So from this side right here, IKEA is just back over there, the Ottawa Citizen building. Of course, the entrance. And in addition, for those who like playing games or indoor roller coaster, the Fun Haven is over here. So it provides a great connection, whether you're using the train or not, just to get from one side to the other. That was parked on the other side there. It took a good 5 minutes just to drive from that side to this side. Imagine walking, which would be pretty much exactly the same route crossing at Pinecrest. This will be a major difference for people if they want to go from one side to the other. Big difference. Not to mention the train, that's going to be very convenient. Here's another shot. So again, the two elevators that go up to the pedestrian crossing level, and there'll be stairs inside here as well to loop around to make your way up. Here we are at Pinecrest Station, and as you can see, it's built down into a trench just to the right of the westbound 417 on-ramp. It's quite an interesting station. Station has a center platform, elevators in the middle. Access will be off to the side here. There'll be a bus loop and bus service in this area. You can see the nice trenched area here with the braces holding the retaining walls in place. It's actually pretty neat to look at. As you can see, if we go more this way, the station mezzanine and concourse hang more over the westbound track while leaving the eastbound track open. Obviously, again, because the access to the station is from this side. All in all, looking very good. Tracks look to be already quite well advanced and in place on the direct fixation. Platforms are looking good. The yellow platform edges and the finishing touch for the platforms probably be done a little later on once they can validate and confirm the height of the train so that they match up nice and smooth with the edge of the train and the platforms. All in all, looking very good here at Pinecrest, which passes underneath just shy of IKEA. In that direction that comes from Queensview, and in this direction, the next station would be Bayshore as you continue to head west. So here we are at Bayshore Station, continuing our trip west. We can see that the original transitway bus platforms have been completely replaced with the new train platforms. Station construction is ongoing and progressing quite nicely. Access will be by the overhead walkway or by street level. And there is a new walkway that's being built from the station building here that's been expanded that will cross over into the parkade to lead into the mall. We are at Moodie Station. This is the western terminus of O Train Line 3 and is two side platforms, but they're actually offset from one another. They're not quite aligned perfectly. This is no doubt due to its proximity to the highway overpass and off-ramp right next to it. But it's a very nice station with a lot of light, and it's going to have a big bus loop and transfer point for buses and destinations going farther west like Canada and Stittsville. Continuing west, however, while the line does end here, the Corktown Yard is located further west along the line and is also the direction that the train will take should the line be extended to Canada in the future.